Hey, hello YouTube. I just thought I'd do a quick video. I'd had several people ask me about the Denim Strops, how I put them together and how I use them. And I made a new one, and made it a slightly different way. So I thought I'd show you the old construction and the new, and we're going to see how this works. I can't give any reports that the newer version is the latest, greatest, best thing in the world, but I have pretty high hopes for it. After using some kind of similar things done in cork and horse hide and some different materials, I think this may really be one that I like. So I'll briefly go through these, and then after I've used it for a while, I'll give you a follow-up. This is Mike's little folder, and I'm in the process of mirror polishing the blade. Come on, guys, it's mine. You knew it was going to happen. It's not done yet, but oh, hi. It's getting there. So probably another 30 minutes on each side and I'll have it where I want it. But I did strop it on the new strop, and there is one other difference between these two. This one has paste that I used to have, which was 0.05 micron. This one is half that. Let's see, is this 0.50, something like that? This is 0.25. So this is really, 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 really fine stuff. And let's see if I can actually do this on camera, because I'm not, this is something, for some reason, yeah, there it goes. It really, really makes a fine edge. You don't have to go fast. You can go nice and slow. You can even do curly cues, you know, move the blade up and down, waves, whatever you want to call those things. And it just makes a superb edge when I do my part. I wonder, yeah, look at this. But anyhow, let's get to the strops. First off, the construction methods. There's some similarities and some big differences between the two. This was the original one that I made, and the idea that I got for this came from my Rockstead. When every year I went to the Rockstead booth and salivated over the various Rocksteads. Never could get one, but the guy there, I'm sure anybody that's been to Blade is familiar with seeing him do his demonstrations where he's got this big old rope, sisal rope, and he cuts through, gazillion times. And then every once in a while he has a canvas, not canvas, but denim strop like this. In his case, it's just the white compound. And I want to stress, for those of you that want to use a white compound, obviously it works fine because Rockstead uses it, almost as kind of a factory technique. So I think that says that'll work. I'm not saying you have to use a diamond spray. I will say that I like the diamond spray a lot better for reasons that we'll get into. But certainly the white, just a plain white compound, will work good on these. On this one, what I did, I have some old inner tubes. I cut 2 patches of inner tube off, and using the 3M 77, which is a spray contact adhesive, I put these feet on just so that it doesn't slide around, and it holds it really nice. I cut out an appropriate size piece of denim for this, and then I took some small brads, which are under this. I don't know how well you'll see the black on black. I think you can see it there. some small brads, and I put it in. Then I stretched it as hard as I could to the other side. And a tip here is start in the center. Don't start on one end and work your way across. Start in the center. That's what you'll see people that do upholstery do. They start in the center, work their way to the edge. And you can get it, as you see, very tight. Now, this has had several applications, and in fact, at this point, quite a few applications of the spray, which goes on wet and then dries extremely fast. A lot of work on it, and it's still very tight. It doesn't bunch up much when you put a knife on it. It holds pretty good, but there's a little bit there, a little bit of give, and I'm sure over time, eventually, I would have to take this loose and retighten it or put a new piece of denim on it. Now, wear on the denim so far doesn't seem to be an issue, and this one's got a lot of knife blades on it already, and it looks pretty much like the day I put it together. And then I just took some electrician's tape to cover the heads of the brads that are under here and wrapped it around there, just, you know, kind of keep the edges from unraveling, etc. So that's how this one was made. This guy is a little different. I cut off a piece of red oak that I had used to make some stays on a park bench that I redid, and I had some left over. And this width is no particular width. It's just I used my bandsaw to cut it rather than a circular saw table, so I could have made it any length. But this happened to be the longest length that would fit into my bandsaw that I could cut off. It was wider. I left it wider. You know, why not? More surface to work on. But on this one, instead of putting it down with brads, I took the 3M adhesive, sprayed the backside, including the all the wood, the sides of the wood, and the entire piece underneath, and I cut this oversize. And then I very carefully laid it on there as tight and as flat as I could. Laid the sides down. When I got to the edge, I just cut straight in here, folded this over, and then did the same on the other, and then cut around the whole thing on the edge to even it up. I then followed the same procedure with the inner tube and put the 3M on the bottom of these. One little caution on these: when you cut out your piece of inner tube, especially if it's new, they have a powder on the inside, which is like a preservative to help keep them from rotting. Take that off with some, I use just plain old rubbing alcohol. Take and wipe that off. You can use Windex too, and just about anything, probably water would wash it off. Take that off before you do this. It tends to not stick as well if you don't. And so this can't move. It's just, I mean, it's totally fixed in place. And there's a lot of diamond spray on here. Now, this may be a difference between the different grit sizes, and also I switched manufacturers. The guy that was making this, I've decided not to deal with, and I changed to someone else for this. And so it could be the liquid that they put in there to, you know, the suspension that they use might be different or something, but this, it turns white in little spaces, but it doesn't just cake up white like this old one did. And believe me, there's a lot of spray on here. Had to let it dry for about half a day, which is unusual. I put a lot on there just to initially charge this. But I think that being glued in place like this with the diamond paste, because the diamonds will cut any steel, any material that you got. So in effect, you're not just smoothing and removing a burr. You can actually sharpen with this on a very small, very tiny level because of the grit size that you're using. And the edge on Mike's knife here is just ridiculous. It will just, hairs just fly off your arm. And I'm gonna, once I finish the mirror polish on the blade, which I really like, for me, you know, a lot of people like the stone wash and everything. This is just a look that I like. I think it's very finished look, and it just really looks cool to me. So I will finish it out, then I'll restrop it on this guy. But I'm going to put this one up for a while and exclusively use this one. I did notice with the smaller grit size that with this one, for everyday use with the larger grit size, it may be the best, because 2 or 3 strops on this have a dramatic effect. If you go back to the test I did on the Rockstead, you remember that I was only doing 2 strops per side and it would bring back a razor edge. This one with the smaller grit size does take a little more stropping, but I think that for those of us that are fanatics about edges, and that's probably why you're watching this video, at least one of the reasons, we just enjoy that kind of thing. This one definitely will get it sharper, and I think it's going to work out really neat. I'll give you a long-term update. If anybody has any specific questions on either one of these, you know, just shoot me a PM or write it in the comments. Be more than happy to tell you anything that I can about it. But the paste, going back to the white compound, when you put it on any strop, I think that the chance of rounding over the edge, if you go at a different angle, may be higher than what you established your bevel at. Especially if the paste is on heavy, you roll it up onto the edge and then you just dull the knife rather than sharpen it. With this, about the worst thing that can happen if you get it too high is you just set a micro bevel on it, because in effect the diamond paste cuts rather than just smooths, if that makes sense. I'm sure there's more technical terms for that, but I like to use terms that everybody will kind of get my intent, and of course I don't know the technical terms. I'm not a rocket scientist, as some of my friends are. But you know, these are easy to make. They're cheap. It's just old denim blue jean material, or in this case denim black jean material that I had laying around. The one thing that I did do, if you look at your jean material, you'll find the outside has kind of a grain running across it, usually at a diagonal. But if you turn it inside out, you'll notice that the weave is perfectly square and very flat. I turned mine inside out. I haven't tried the other way. It would almost give it like a Trizac belt effect with the little notches in there. I just felt like this would give me the best finish for what I wanted to do. But you can experiment, you know, it doesn't cost anything to make these. Make up a couple, try them both ways, try different material, try linen, try whatever. But one of the best strops I ever used was a hardwood strop, and it had just a minute, and I mean thin layer of cork bonded to it. It was for my woodworking tools, and the edge you get is just scary, you know, like Udo says, scary sharp. Well, that's what that was. This is giving me the same kind of edge on my Gavco knife here. Just super duper scary sharp. So go ahead and give these a try. They're fun to play with. They work well. If you don't want to go through the expense of the diamond paste, they'll work just fine with the white compound. If you do, I think you'll be well rewarded with it. So that's kind of my story on these. So You guys take it easy and have a good day, and we'll talk to you later.